We shouldn't fear anything, especially fear. For the most part, it's not the activity we fear that is creating the fear that stops us in what we want to get done. But it's actually the feeling that we're going to be scared. So first thing you always want to do when it comes to getting through fear is look at the worst case scenario. So what kind of snakes scare you?
Any kind of snakes, even small, warm ones that can smile at you, they'll scare me.
Great. Why do they scare you?
I think when I was a child back in Mexico and I was 6 years old, and this poisonous snake, almost attacked us. Me and my sister were walking in our backyard where we had animals and stuff, and ever since then, and also this dreams I used to have a big snake following me, opening his big mouth and chasing me, and I would wake up to sweats. Yeah.
Wow. So that's there's a lot going on there. So I totally understand. You had an extremely traumatic experience when you were 6 years old.
Yeah.
You had recurring nightmares. Completely understand that you're scared of snakes. I think just hearing that now I'm scared of snakes too. All right. So let's look at the thing. Let's talk about a harmless garter snake, right? Would it scare you?
I wouldn't touch it unless I saw, if a little kid gave it to me, I might just touch it after him. But not like grab one if I see it, even if I notice. I wouldn't grab it because I'd be afraid that it would bite me or sting me or, poison me or something.
Got it.
Yeah.
But if it's a non-poisonous snake,
yeah,
and you see it, knowing that it's not going to poison you, that it can't really hurt you.
Once I know 100%, yeah, after somebody else.
Then you would be totally okay with it. Or
I'd be a little afraid, but I still touch it. I still would touch it.
Let me ask you this. What would be the worst case scenario with that little snake?
That I get in my car and he's in there with me by myself.
And does what? Just hangs out, has a conversation with you? Or
just bites me.
Bites
I don't like snakes.
And even if he bit you, how bad would that be?
Well, I guess it wouldn't be too bad, no.
Okay.
A garden snake.
Alright, so that's step number one. Always look at the worst case scenario. You're gonna go do something. What is actually the worst that can happen? Because when you start really looking at what is the worst that can happen, you break down that process and no longer are you that scared. Step number two is faith. Really, as George Michael said, you gotta have
faith.
Right.
Faith.
If you have faith that things are gonna be okay, a lot of times if you stand in that faith, whether it's religious or you're spiritual or you're just extremely confident or cocky, that's okay. That will get you through that fear. So just have faith that no matter what, you can get through this. That snake is not going to do anything to you. So third step is you want to challenge either the limiting beliefs that you have or the inner critic inside you. If it's saying, for example, if you have a belief that the snake can hurt you, you can actually ask yourself, can this little snake really hurt me? And this goes part with what's the worst case that can happen? Or it might be something about yourself. If you're, for example, you need to give a presentation and you're scared about what people might think, that might be the inner critic inside speaking. So then challenge that. Well, what's the worst that can happen? Why should I really be scared? What's the belief that's there? And challenge that belief until basically it no longer scares you and holds you back. The fourth thing you want to do is you want to focus on your values. So if your value is to, for example, not be scared of snakes, or if there's something there, now this is it's a little more complicated here because this is just an external thing. But for example, let's say you were a public speaker and you needed to give a speech and it held you back. This fear of public speaking is one of the greatest fears in the country. If it does stop you, then look at your values. Hartman talked about the two types of choices we have. We have fear-based choices and we have conscious-based choices. So now you can address the fear, you can lead yourself through fear, or you can lead by conscious choice. So you can start looking at what are the values that I have when I give a speech. Why do I want to do? Well, number one, I want to grow. Number two, I want to contribute something to the audience. And number three, I want to perhaps maybe help my business, because that's important to me. So I can accomplish all three values. You look at those values, the fear almost disappears on its own. The fifth of those, of my techniques that I would recommend, is center yourself. Before you do anything, you see a snake, next time you get close to a snake, just take a few steps back, close your eyes, and breathe. And just feel all the fear just leaving your body. with every breath. And as you breathe in like, feel like courage and light and just strength coming in. And then breathe out from your gut, really low diaphragmatic breathing. Breathe out that fear. And if you breathe enough times, what that'll happen is that'll actually shift your whole sympathetic, parasympathetic system. So you'll go from sympathetic, fear-based, to parasympathetic, much more conscious, much more less fear-based. It's the healing system. And lastly, you can do what's called visualization. You can actually imagine yourself going up to the snake and just petting it, caressing it, having a conversation with the snake, and enjoying some time with it. But seeing yourself, not be fearful, not be scared. And for speakers, this is great. You always want to imagine yourself giving a presentation just completely relaxed, completely confident, completely competent and informed. And that'll help relax you. The more you visualize success and you being able to do whatever activity is stopping you, or doing the activity that you want to do, then you will be able to, through visualization, make that eventually happen. Because as the brain doesn't really understand the difference between real and perceived, it's a great way to break through that. Thank you very much, Alfonso.